All right, everybody. We're back at CMA Fest. We've been having a lot of fun today. I've got a feeling that my voice is going to give out by the end of this. All of this. It is going to be nuts. So we're just going to have a whole lot of fun. Anyway, today we've got, I should say this 30 minutes. We've got 15 minutes, 30. What do we got? I don't know. Anyway, High Mountain Breeze is with us. And that would be Bruce. Help me out on this, Bruce. Tarletsky.
You got it.
I said that right?
Yeah.
I got a buzzer prize. Beep. Yep, there you go. Dude, I love it. What I love, though, before we went on there, is me and you was talking, and you was telling me about the whole basis behind High Mountain Breeze. And I want you to tell that to the people, because that is very admirable how y'all are doing that. That's something that a lot of people don't do anymore.
You know, you're right. I mean, this is something that came about, oh gosh, we've been together for like 15 years.
Right.
And about 15 years ago, somebody said, you like music? And I said, yeah, why don't you write a song?
Yeah.
And of course, it was the most god-awful thing I ever wrote. But anyway, you know, we started doing what all songwriters do, and that's, you know, the demos.
Right.
And always use the same players.
Yeah.
And, you know, back in 2015, we got to the point where we said, you know what, I'm tired of doing song demos.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we do something for ourselves? And we realized that we've all been together forever, and we refer to them as contributing artists. But these players, you know their music.
Yeah.
You don't know them because they perform for all the major artists.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Like the band back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like the Wrecking Crew and kind of like Immediate Family in the 70s. The only difference is we're making music for ourselves.
Yeah.
And when they get together, the magic is crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. We were here this week putting together another new album. And again, the neat thing about it is we're very organic. We're not a country group. We're not a rock group. We just play whatever we want to do. And basically what happens is we'll all get together and say, what kind of songs do we want to do?
Yeah.
You know, we've got Ron Wallace is one of our great vocalists. I asked Ron the other day, I said, if you had one cover song to do, what would it be?
Yeah.
And he said, Drift Away.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, so we went in and we're doing that. And, you know, Chris Lusinger is one of our players. And Chris actually, on his first gig back in the 70s, was that song with Dobie Gray.
Yeah.
At the Merv Griffin Show. So we kind of brought that back together, and he's playing on it, 35, 40 years later again.
Wow.
And, you know, the neat thing is another Robert Bailey, and Robert, he sings backgrounds for Garth.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in the studio doing the backgrounds on this song the other day, and he said, you know, I can remember when I was a kid, my mama would only let us listen to country music.
Oh, yeah.
Or gospel. And then when Dobie put this song out, she made him go out and buy the 45.
Wow.
And that's all, they wore it out. And then yesterday to have him doing the background vocals on a song that he knew as a kid was pretty exciting.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of like one of those come-arounds. Just full circle right there.
Yeah, it really is. And like I said, you know, what we do is everybody contributes. Because normally when you get into the studio and you're a session player, and they're all stars. Mm-hmm. Everybody on this team are just amazing people, amazing artists. But you're in there, you're doing it for someone else. You're either doing it for your boss,
yeah,
or you're doing a demo, or you're doing it for a songwriter. Here, you're doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
And it's pretty darn special.
I love that.
You know, it was very, very cool. And we put out our first record about 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We called Daddy's Margarita Rose. And we've had almost 700,000 streams.
Yeah.
On that record.
Isn't it crazy, though, how everything went from albums over to streams? Everybody's streaming.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, it's fun. We released the album in Europe, and 3 of the songs went number 1.
Wow.
You know, and 4 of the other songs made it into the top 4. So we've been embraced, you know, in Europe. And it's very, very cool. So we're excited about that.
I think it's wild how Europe has actually started. They're just like consuming country music at ridiculous rates now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it is crazy.
No question. You know, our first song that went number 1 was a song that we wrote called Daddy's Margarita Rose.
Yeah.
And that was a song that was inspired by my wife, whose dad passed away during the about 5 years ago. She wasn't there. Yeah. And we wrote that song. I wrote that co-wrote it with Jimmy Mattingly and Chris Lusinger. And it's also a tribute for women and daughters who didn't get to say goodbye to their daddies during the COVID pandemic. And that song, It Rips at Your Heart is a great song, and it went #1. Then we actually did a version of Bridge Over Troubled Water.
That's always a good song.
Always a good song. You never want to try to mimic.
Oh no,
guys.
Make it yours.
And we made it our own. And what we did is we had 3 lady artists do a trio on that song, and it was Heather Beckett and Gwen Sebastian and Melissa Duvall, and boy, it just blows you away.
Oh yeah.
And, like I said, they're making their own music. I just kind of sit back and just take it all in.
Oh yeah.
And we've got a whole lot of contributing folks on this thing. Bob Bullock, who's with me here today, is the producer of what we do, and Bob has got 50 gold records to his name. He's played with everybody or worked with everybody, and the stories that are told.
Oh, I'd love to just sit and listen to all the stories, man.
I'm telling you, we like I said, we were in the studio this week. We did we're doing some tribute songs along with our new songs.
Right.
And we actually did one of my favorites. We did a Bobby Darin's Beyond the Sea. Now that song is 64 years old.
Wow.
And we brought this very talented Minnie Murphy. She just rocked it from the jazz perspective. And we did another one of theirs, I'm Beginning to See the Light.
Right.
And, we did a Harry Chapin song. We did Drift Away. We did Meet Me in Montana. But the unique thing about it, David, is these folks are playing across all genres.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was listening to. I'm just like, wow, it's just like, it's not really specific to one thing. I mean, y'all were like incorporating a lot of greats into this.
Yeah, we really are. And again, I'm just sitting back and I'm honored and blessed to be a part of it all.
Oh yeah.
I started out as a little songwriter, and next thing you know, this came together. But coming to Nashville for somebody who wants to seek their dreams and be a songwriter or an artist, it's hard. You know that. Oh yeah. And for the many years, I was doing that. But people in Nashville, the artists, they're great folks, but they're also very cautious.
Oh yeah.
Keep you at arm's length. And then one day, Chris Lusinger and Bullock and I were having coffee out of that Starbucks out in Franklin. And I sat back and I told him, I said, I used to come here to Nashville for my music. And he said, well, what do you come for now? To be with my friends.
Yeah.
And they said, welcome to Nashville.
Oh yeah. And I find a lot of things that are going on now. It's like a lot of it has come full circle again, and we're getting back to where it's a group of friends. It's people, artists, actually helping each other out instead of trying to cut each other's throat.
Absolutely. And again, all the years that I was doing this, people say, there's a lot of great session players in Nashville. I'm sure there are, but these are my guys, my folks. Yeah. Because what happens is, I used to think that they would see each other all the time.
Yeah.
They don't.
No.
And when they walk into that studio and they see each other,
it's a job.
Oh, the chemistry and the vibe that comes out of that. Mm-hmm. We did on our website, it's highmountainbreezes.com. We've got a video on there. It's what we call Why Do We Love Music? It's something we put together to, our music, but you don't know us.
Yeah.
There's about 22 or 23 of us.
Yeah.
Are involved. But what we wound up doing was, because when we first rolled this out, people thought we were a band.
Yeah.
And we're not. And it's contributing artists, and it's just friends getting together. So
awesome. Tell everybody where they can see you.
Oh, you bet.
Your socials.
Yeah, you can get us on Facebook at High Mountain Breezes. We're on Instagram. You can get us there. And we're also on this thing called, what is it? TikTok. I can't figure that one out.
You're like me. I don't even, my daughter handles my TikTok. I don't mess with it. I don't touch it.
Nope. I'll turn it on and go, whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Turn that thing off.
Oh, it's crazy with all the stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
And then, like I said, we're on highmountainbreezes.com, and we've got we're on all the streaming services.
Awesome. That's why I am.
Yeah, exactly. So
put it all out there.
You bet.
All right. Bruce, we appreciate you being on.
Well, I appreciate you having us, and it's been fun. We're looking forward to the rest of the day.
Oh, yeah. It's the Madhouse Crazy Days.
Yeah. Well, like I said, if you see guys in orange shirts, don't be asking them for directions, because we don't know where we're going.
There you go. All right, y'all.
David, thank you.
We'll catch y'all later. Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you, sir.